Okay, I think it's working now. DeAndre, ¿cómo estás hoy? ¿Cómo estás, DeAndre? So we are trying to figure out what we know about Argentina because we're starting a new unit today on Argentina. Okay. And we're going to start out with a video of Argentina, and then we'll have a little activity to go with the video. Okay. But since we have you and Liliana just joining us, here's the last question I ask everybody. If you won the lottery today, what would be the first place you would travel to on your bucket list if you're going to travel? Maybe you don't have a bucket list, and that's an answer as well. China. Wow. Another Italy. Good job. Good job. Okay. So again, we're going to learn a little bit about Argentina today. And we are going to start some simple vocabulary about traveling. Okay, you guys. Also in this unit 7, we're going to learn how to talk about things we did in the past. Okay, so a lot of practicing on past, right? We've done so many different verb tenses, right, you guys? Okay, so if you can, head over to the modules, por favor, in Canvas, okay? And once you get there, kind of give me a thumbs up, and I'll tell you how we're going to sort of do this little video thing, okay? All right, Liliana's there. Who else is there? Yep, Trey. Okay, muy bien. So the very first thing you're going to see is something called La Cultura de Argentina, right? This is not difficult at all. There's nothing difficult about this, okay? We're going to watch the video together. I just want you to let's look at the questions real fast so that you know what to listen for. Okay, so that at the end of the hour today, you can knock this out real quickly. So question 1, what are some traditional dances mentioned? And we already said, you guys, tango. Somebody mentioned tango this afternoon. Question 2, what is the name of the traditional Argentine cowboy and the female counterpart? Which you already know the answer to that because I already told everybody. And then what are some examples of famous Argentines in sports that are mentioned in the video? And we already mentioned that. So those are done. Yeah. Okay. All done. And then what are some examples of the fauna? So fauna, does anybody know what that word means? Fauna. You can see my screen. You guys want question 1? What is fauna? Just want to make sure we all know what that means so we know what to listen for. Fauna. Fauna are plants, plant life, like flowers, trees, those kinds of things. Okay. Flora, question 2 is similar. Okay. Yes, and fauna can be some animals as well. And then question 3, some examples of famous Argentines in the arts. So they're going to talk about the arts. Okay. And then these are open-ended questions, which we are not going to do. We are not going to do the open-ended questions. Okay, so don't sweat those. Okay, clase, any questions about that? So this is pretty simple. Okay, if you want to keep it open and answer the questions as we watch the video, that is cool too. Okay, all right, any questions about what we're getting ready to do here? Okay, I have the I tried to put the English captions on it, but it won't let me put the English captions. Let me try again. Yeah. Well, I mean, I have the English captions on, but for some reason they don't come up as English. They come up as Spanish. So let's just listen, okay? And we'll do the best we can. All right, here we go. Make sure you can hear.
In this video, we are going to show you all about our culture in Argentina.
Woo! Let's get started. When we gather to dance and enjoy our beautiful music from our beautiful country, we tend to bring food. And that is when we have empanadas, asado, we have sometimes locro, pastelitos rellenos with membrillo sometimes. I'm mixing languages at this point, but mind you, we have a very wide variety of flavors, of textures, and they are very delicious and fulfilling as well.
In our country, there are many different types of dances, some more popular and some more folkloric. In the folkloric dances, we have chacarera, chamamé, escondido, samba, and there are dances that when there are meetings and with food, with music, they dance and they have a very great time. Another popular dances are cumbia, cuarteto, reggaeton.
The gaucho typically wears a bombacha with a rastra and a shirt, and also sometimes a handkerchief. Also, sometimes the gaucho drinks mate, and sometimes it wears a boina, but we didn't have a boina nearby, so we try as much as we can.
The gaucho is the male and the paisana is the female. There are people that live in the countryside of Argentina. They work in farms and with animals. As you see, most of Argentinians enjoy drinking mate every time, in the morning, in the evening, in the night, maybe when you are studying or hanging around with friends. We live in the south of Argentina, and it's a country with many different environments and landscapes. We are going to show you some of the beautiful landscapes of Argentina. Talking about the landscapes, our large territory allows us to have very different types of environments, reliefs,
Valleys, mountains.
fauna and flora. We have some unique animals from this country, as the yaguareté, the carpincho, pudú pudú, huemul, tatu carreta, armadillo, and it's something very beautiful. We also have the widest river in the world, the highest peak in South America, the southernmost city in the world.
And in the flora we can find araucarias, notros, muticias, amancay. We can find a wide variety of trees and very beautiful flowers as well. In Argentina, as we have a wide, very big country, we have a very wide variety of cultures. Of course that in many main cities, most of the people are European descent, but as you go to the interior, you can find people from all kinds of cultures. We have many Native American cultures, and sometimes they have their own traditions and their own language, like Mapuche, Quechua, Guarani, Tehuelche, Pehuenche people, and sometimes they have their own festivities, they have their own festivals, they have their own traditions. We have a list of famous people in sports and other categories that you may find that are Argentinian.
Yes, there are many famous names in music, films, art, cartoons, football, and so more.
We have Lionel Messi,
Soda Stereo,
Charly Garcia,
the Pope,
Queen Máxima of Holland, and the Netherlands.
Carlos Gardel,
We have
cartoons like Mafalda, Patorucito, Clemente,
Gaturro, Antiojito, Metegol,
movies like Nueve Reinas, El secreto de sus ojos.
Esperando la carroza, and some series like Los Simuladores,
Yes.
Ocupas, and many more. We also have people that are recognized in another sports like Juan Martín del Potro,
Manuel Ginóbili,
Peque Pareto,
Maradona,
El Kun Agüero, Tevez, Riquelme. So, like the Caligari say, no somos muchos,
no somos pocos,
pero estamos todos locos. This. I hope you like our video, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to watch the other videos on the Global Implementation Office YouTube channel.
Thank you for watching. See you next time. Most of Argentina drink mate.
Okay. Any thoughts, you guys? Anything that you noticed or something that you might have a question about? No, nothing? Okay. Okay. If you'd like to access that reading on La Cultura, cartoons, yeah, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Right? I didn't know those cartoons were from Argentina. Did you guys know that those cartoons were from Argentina? I did not know. Okay. So if you'd like to take, 5 minutes or so, you guys, those questions are pretty simple to answer. Again, we do not have to do the open-ended questions. If you want to wait till the end of the hour to do this, that's fine too. Again, you're not doing the open-ended questions. Okay. All right. Any questions about that whole thing about Argentina? Okay. It's kind of a pretty place, right? Did you realize it was as pretty as it was? And they have glaciers on the southern end, right? So that's kind of a cool deal. Okay. Okay. The next thing, you guys, we're going to switch on over to our travel vocabulary. Okay. Ir de viaje. Viaje is a voyage. Okay. Or trip, right? So this is meant to be short. It's meant to be sweet. Okay. We do not have guided notes for this. So yay, right? No guided notes for this. But if you are the kind of person who wants to write them down, you can do it on a piece of paper. You can open up a document, whichever you prefer. You guys know that the stuff is always in the module, right? So you can access them if you need the words for an assignment or something like that. It's in there, right? But you're not going to have guided notes for this particular section, okay? So give me a thumbs up if you're ready to start or when you're ready to start. Okay. Liliana, was that a thumbs up? C, Hill, who else? Jada, Ayana, Kinsey, and Isadora. Give me a thumbs up if you're ready. Okay, perfect. All right, let me get my screen together then. And then we'll practice with them just a little bit. I'll just kind of go and we'll ask questions as we go through them so that, it helps us to remember them, okay? Okay. If you are writing these down and you want me to pause, you guys, you know what to do, right? Just holler at me. Tell me you want me to pause, okay? All right, here we go, clase. So we are de viaje, right? So traveling, de viaje. So viaje is just a trip, okay? All kinds of trips. We don't have to fly for it to be a trip, right? Any kind of trip, viaje. Okay, so again, these are just meant to, I don't expect you to memorize these or anything like that, right? So to ask if somebody's ready, we would say listo or lista, okay? Or estás preparado or estás preparada. So what you guys will notice is that the verbs here are verbs that we know. We've seen them before. but they have to be conjugated, right? You guys, they have to be changed depending upon who we're talking to. So if I was asking Hill, hey, Hill, are you ready? I would say, ¿estás listo? Right? I would have to conjugate the verb. Okay. If I'm talking about having something like my passport or something in my purse where I could get to it easily, right? I could say, tengo mi pasaporte a mano. Tengo mi pasaporte. I have my passport, right? A mano, on hand. Okay. Tengo. If we're buying tickets, you guys, compro, I'm buying, compro un billete de ida y vuelta, right? So round trip, to go and return, vuelta, to like come back, okay? So compro, I'm buying, un billete, a ticket, de ida y vuelta, to go and come back, okay? If something doesn't matter, oh, no importa, no importa. You'll hear that everywhere you go, right? Whether we're talking about traveling or not, no importa, doesn't matter, or whatever, okay? No importa. Hi, Janerical. How do we say, have a good trip, you guys? Buen viaje. Buen viaje. Buen viaje, right? Have a good trip. So just some useful things that you guys may or may not see in like an assignment or a practice sheet. Just know that they're here and it'll be in the modules for you to access if you need to figure out what they mean. Okay. All right. Bueno, clase. So simple things. If you are writing these down and you need me to slow down, just holler at me. Okay. El avión y el barco. Okay. But I have a question. Can we make a connection here? Avión. Can we make a connection with a word in English that has to do with like flying? Yeah. Is there a word that we use for flying? Anybody can think of one? Liliana, Isadora, or Ayana? How about, yes, aviator, which is somebody who flies, right? The plane, or aviation. Okay. Also, how about birds? Right? When we have like a place where we keep birds, like in a zoo, if they have like a big thing for birds, what do we call that? Do y'all know that word? It's called an aviary. An aviary, right, you guys? So what's the common denominator here? Avion, aviator, aviation, aviary, right? Anything that has to do with AVI, it's going to have to do with flying. Okay. Barco, of course, is a boat of any kind. This one just happens to be a cruise ship. Okay. El tren is obviously a train. El metro is a subway. So can you guys tell me in Columbus or wherever you nearby where you are, or Atlanta, maybe, I don't know. Do you guys have a subway system? Do you guys have a subway system? Yes, you do. Okay. I'm just curious. It's not very many places. Yeah, not very many places have them in the United States, right? Maybe Atlanta because it's such a big city, but yeah. Okay, so metro. But in Europe and in other countries around the world, trains and metro stations are everywhere. Okay, totally everywhere. So they have a different way of traveling around. Okay, then we have el autobús and el coche, right? Coche is just any old car. Okay, el autobús or el coche. So you guys can see why I didn't make a guided notes list for this, because these are pretty kind of self-explanatory, right? Some of these. Okay, if we walk, clase, we go on foot. So we would have to, like, conjugate the verb, right? So if I say I go on foot, I would have to say voy a pie, right? Al museo, for example, right? Like I'm going on foot to the museum or whatever, okay? So I have to conjugate my verb ir. So ir a pie, right? A pie, on foot, if you're writing any of these down. Okay. And then la estación. So tell me in the chat, what do you think is la estación, clase? What is un estación based on the image? Very good, Isadora. A station, right? In this case, a train station. Could have a bus station, right? And still be a station, but yeah. So la estación, very good. So station. So that looks like station, right? That's easy. Okay, this one is, I put it in here because it is, you'll see it in the thing. Again, we're using ir, so we would have to conjugate it, right? Voy, vas, va, vamos, or van. The excursión, we do use this word excursion in English, but for different things. Based on this image, what does it mean if we vamos de excursión? Based on this image, what does that mean? Yes, to go on a hike. Very good. So vamos de excursión, right? We are hiking. We're going on a hike. Okay, vamos de excursión. Okay. All right, let me know if I'm going too fast, if you guys need me to back up or something, or slow down, whichever, because I see some of you writing. Okay, so that's it for vocab, right? Short and sweet, nothing crazy, right? Nothing cray-cray. However, here's our new grammar thing, and have no fear because we will try to practice this as much as possible. You guys, we're going to talk about things that happened in the past. In Spanish, it's called the preterite, okay? Preterito or preterito, however you want to do it, okay? It's a hard word to say. We'll call it the preterite. And we're going to start with our regular AR verbs. So before you write anything down, let's just stare at this screen for a minute, okay? So to talk about completed actions in the past, we use this preterite. So for example, if I'm talking about a regular AR verb, compro, I'm buying a blouse, right? Yo compro, or I buy blouses, all right? I buy a blouse. Yo compro una blusa. Remember, we just did the present continuo, the presente continuo, where we would be, it's like our ing in English, where we're doing it right now, right? Estoy comprando, like I'm in the process of, okay? And then way back before Christmas, you guys, we did the future where we're saying, I'm going to buy, right? Yo voy a comprar una blusa. So now we got to take all this stuff, not get confused, and we're going to talk about what we did in the past. So the difficulty here, you guys, is how to form the verb. I would encourage you to write this down. It is in the module, okay? But sometimes it's handy to have it on a piece of paper. So yo compré, and you have to have the accent mark. Una camisa, I bought a blouse. I travel by boat. Yo viajo en barco. I travel by boat. That's present tense. Like generally speaking, that's what I do. But if I did it last week, yo viajé en metro. Viajé. Okay, so here's the hard part. Okay, you guys, again, take a look at my screen. Remember that these are just the AR verbs, just the AR verbs. Okay, and so it's hard to know because there's very little pattern here. Okay, so we have compraste, compró with the accent mark, compramos, and compraron. And our yo is odd. He's the odd one out. It's an E, right? Compré. Listen, to be honest with you, I have no way, there's no pattern here. There's nothing here to grasp onto to help us remember what they are. The only way we can remember them is if we use them, if we practice with them. Okay? So, aste, o, amos, aron. Okay, we get rid of the AR and then we add aste, o, amos, and aron. I would write this down. If you have a sticky note, pop it on a sticky note. Keep it on your desk. That way, when you sit down for Spanish something, it's already there like a little sticky note. Okay. Now, what do we notice? Ayana, I'm going to ask you this question. What do we notice about the nosotros form? Compramos. What do we notice about it? What's weird? This is supposed to be past tense, right? Anybody notice anything about the weird nosotros form? Isn't this supposed to be past tense? What's weird about this? Isadora, can you find it? Yeah, we have nosotras, but I'm talking about this, how this has been formed. This is supposed to be in the past tense, right, you guys? What's weird about it? Isadora, anything, Jada? Yes, absolutely. You guys, the nosotros form is the exact same form as it would be in present tense. So, present tense for AR verbs, nosotros compramos una blusa. We're buying a blouse. Now we buy blouses, like now present tense, or it's the same thing in the past tense. Nosotros compramos. It's the same word. So how are we supposed to know if they mean it that they're doing it for now or they did it in the past? How are we supposed to know? What's your ideas? How are we supposed to know? If they say compramos, how are we supposed to know if they mean that whether they're doing it now or whether they did it already? How are we supposed to know the difference? Any ideas? Well, context, right? Context in the larger conversation, okay? Or the larger whatever, right? If we're talking about something we did in the past, then we understand that the nosotros form is meant to be in the past tense, even though it's the same form as the present tense. Okay. The good news there, right, is it's easy. We don't have to remember anything but this. Aste, o, and amos, and aron. Okay. Compré, compraste, compró, compramos, compraron. Okay. Any questions about that goofiness? So that's what we're going to be practicing. So yeah, if you have a sticky note, stick it on your desk. That's the best way to do it. Okay. Again, these are just the endings for the AR verbs in the past tense. I bought, you bought, he or she bought, we bought, you all bought, they bought. Okay. Okay, questions? All right. I'm gonna give you a little brain break while I get my screen pulled up, okay? It's gonna take me a minute. And then, let's see how much time we have, about a half an hour. Okay, perfect. That should work perfectly. Okay, just waiting on the computer. Okay, please make sure you can hear and make sure that you can see this, okay? You guys, we're gonna watch this be our first time, our first go round for Senora Lopez here. Oops, is it not sharing? Share. There we go. Okay, guys, ready? Let's listen to what she has to say.
Buenas. Today we begin a journey into the past. No, not like in a science fiction movie. In Spanish verb world. So now we're going to begin expressing events that happened in the past. Yesterday, last week, or at other times further in the past. For instance, en 2000 viajé en avión por primera vez. No me gustó. En 2004, preparé la cena por primera vez. ¡Qué desastre! En 2009, bailé con Jaime Rodríguez por primera vez. Él bailó muy bien. Y en 2017, enseñé mi primera clase de español. All the verbs in those sentences are in a past tense called the preterite, el pretérito. Can you recognize which AR verbs they come from? El pretérito is used to talk about completed actions in the past. Final, finished, over and done. To form preterites of regular AR verbs, drop the AR from the infinitive and add these endings. Yo limpié. Tú hablaste. Alina cantó. Julio y yo nos peinamos. Vosotros escuchasteis. Greg y Beto jugaron. Please make a big mental note that the endings for the first and third person singular forms require a written accent. ¿Qué pasó ayer, chicos? Yo limpié el baño.
Okay, so what happened yesterday, right? What happened yesterday? ¿Qué pasó? Yo limpié. I cleaned, right? In the past, I cleaned the bathroom.
Y Alina cantó y su mamá tocó el piano. Natalia, ¿tú y tu hermana lavaron la ropa?
Okay, so we're talking to Natalia and we're saying, did you and your sister wash the clothes? Okay, so ustedes lavaron.
La ropa? No, pero nos lavamos las manos. I hope you noticed that the preterite ending for the nosotros forms is the same as that used for the present tense. Did you notice that by any chance? Well, it is. So when you say something like caminamos a la escuela, it might be confusing out of context. So be sure your meaning is clear. Compare. Caminamos a la escuela los viernes.
Right, so every Friday we walk to school. That's present tense. It's something that we do generally, right?
We walk to school every Friday. Present tense. Ayer caminamos a la escuela. Yesterday we walked to school. Preterite. a completed action in the past. Okay, I hope that your first step into the past tense has been relatively easy. Adios.
Okay. All right, you guys, any questions about the preterite? Like I say, we will practice, practice, practice. Okay. Any questions about it though? Okay, if you don't mind, meet me in Canvas, por favor. We have about 25 minutes left-ish. So if you meet me in Canvas, there are some things posted, but I want us to give priority to any assignments with a due date of today or before. Okay, let me say it again. Okay, I want to give priority to any assignments. You might need to refresh your Canvas screen, you guys, to anything that was due today or before, because I have to have your grades updated by this afternoon. Progress reports are tomorrow. Okay, so just know today's the 6th. So anything with a due date of the 6th or before, please make sure you have that completed. Don't forget to check out VHL as well. Okay, if you're all caught up, then make sure that you refresh your Zoom, your Canvas screen, and you can see here I've got the vocab slides. The vocab slides also has the slide for the preterite for AR verbs, and then there's a couple of VHL practices in there. But like I say, and then the video sheet. If you have anything missing that was due today or earlier since 3rd quarter, please make sure that you're working on that. Okay. Okay, very good. Some of you guys still have the speaking thing to do. Okay, you know, that kind of stuff. I'm here to help you. If you have a piece of scrap paper, you can listen to it and you can maybe draft out your response, and then you can copy it later. You know, you can record it later. Okay, so there's more than one way of getting things done. You know, I can help you draft your answers, and then you can just record them later if you have a piece of scrap paper or something. Okay. All right, any questions about what we're doing? I just want to make sure I give you that time today, since grades are due as soon as school's out. Okay, today. They're due at the end of the school day today. Okay, so you have the culture thing for today, if you're all caught up. And then the other practice things, if you're all caught up. So please stay in Zoom so I can help you guys out. Okay, let me finish with attendance and I'll go look real fast. Okay. Liliana, let me see. Okay, so, okay, good question. So, what you're doing is you're going to conjugate in the preterite those verbs that are in the parentheses. Okay, they've just given you comprar as the example. Does that make sense, Liliana? So, for the first blank, you just need viajamos, right? Right, there you go. So you're gonna take off the AR and then you'll put in the preterite ending that you need. Okay, they just gave you comprar as an example. Okay, good question though. It's kind of confusing. So some of you still haven't taken the quiz in VHL, right? You guys, don't forget, if you need help finding these things, there's a calendar there. Okay, if you need help finding these assignments. Liliana, check the chat, please. Kinsey, check the chat, please. Okay, unit 6. Yeah. So make sure you're focusing on those things, right, you guys, that are due, like today's the 6th, so from the 6th before, right? Yeah, see y'all working hard. Good job. Let me know if you have a question. Janierical, can you check the chat, please? And Jada? Remember, we want to focus on anything that's got a due date of today and before, right? Some of you are still missing a quiz, which is also in VHL. Check the chats, please. Yeah. Okay, guys, any questions? I'm here to help. Please try and get those VHL things caught up. Jada, let me know if you need help. Cindy. Or Ayana, if you need help finding something. Yep. Okay. Anyone need a little nudge? Remember, you guys can open up the slides on the sports, los deportes. So you can find what equipment you need for each sport. If you're working in VHL. You guys, you have about a minute left. So if you have a question finding something or completing something, let me know. Net, N-E-T, like a volleyball net or a net on a tennis court. Okay, guys, that's our time. Any last minute questions? All right. Adios. Reach out if you have a question. I'll try and answer you as best I can. Okay. Have a great day. Good job. Good hard work. Okay. Adios, clase. Adios.